President El-Sisi, Herr Ministerpräsident, Ambassador Ischinger, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to address such a distinguished audience under the prestigious auspices of the Munich Security Conference at a time when my country, Romania, is holding the presidency of the Council of the European Union. Indeed, security in Europe and defense of Europe are definitely timely and essential topics. The unavoidable starting point for any discussion on security and defense is the complexity of the current international environment. We are facing concurrent demonstrations of classical and asymmetric threats from various strategic directions. And this is not only the concern of politicians, the military, and strategists. Today, the security concerns are the prevalent issue on our European citizens' minds. At the same time, the multilateral international system is increasingly under pressure, and its adjustment to the new realities is probably our greatest challenge. What should be our European answer to these challenges? My answer is cohesion, in the broadest sense, as discussions on the future of Europe are at the forefront of the European agenda during Romania's current presidency of the Council of the European Union. We need a cohesive and inclusive approach among member states and European institutions. That is why this message of unity and cohesion defines, in a fundamental manner, the priorities of Romania's presidency of the Council of the European Union. Our approach focuses on facilitating consensus, overcoming divisions, and finding common ground on inclusive ways to consolidate the Union. Security and defense make no exception. On the contrary, security and defense are a core component of the future of the Union. They make our external action credible and represent a guarantee for preserving and advancing our vocation for multilateralism. What have we achieved so far? Well, for quite some time, for many different reasons, the progress was uneven. However, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, we have reached significant results in all areas: defense capabilities, industrial defense cooperation, operational commitments. We have also reached significant progress in creating the conditions for a more ambitious role of the European Union in civilian crisis management. It is only the beginning, but a promising one, providing a solid basis for our future work. But none of these achievements would have been possible in the absence of a strong political will, reinforced by concrete contributions of the European Union member states. Even more important, these achievements have been made possible by the growing conviction that cooperation in the area of defense needs to become the rule as the only way forward to overcome the fragmentation affecting our actions. The common security and defense policy, in all of its dimensions, relies on the common belief of the member states that sending our men and women in missions under the EU flag is more effective and credible than acting within a coalition of few. Inclusiveness, flexibility, and geographical balance should remain our guiding principles. The Permanent Structured Cooperation, or PESCO, is one answer to the false dilemma between efficiency and inclusiveness. It has the potential to make a real difference if we ensure that cooperation projects target the real capability gaps existing at the European level. Now, the focus should be on implementation. We need to maintain the momentum and stimulate further progress. We need to build bridges between the different initiatives, making sure that they are coordinated and they reinforce each other. We also need to invest more in our internal cohesion, which in this case translates into strategic convergence among ourselves. The overarching goal should be, in my view, an enhanced European engagement. Enhanced European engagement. Enhanced because we clearly need to do more. European because such new efforts will be done through the European Union without excluding other frameworks. Engagement because our efforts should also result in a renewed commitment to NATO and the United Nations. Along these lines, consolidated input of the European Union to international security will reassure our strategic partners, the partners we need in order to be efficient and credible. And this brings me to the question, is this the right time to be more ambitious? Ladies and gentlemen, this year we celebrate 70 years of NATO's existence, as well as 20 years of development of European cooperation in the field of defense and security. It is indeed the right moment to deepen our reflection on how to optimize the strategic synergy between these two organizations. We should aim at developing a harmonized approach. We need to do so by blending the unique, evolving, and comprehensive role played by NATO for our collective defense with the European Union's integrated approach to crisis management and its unique ability of pulling together a wide range of instruments and resources. Within this framework, security and defense should be a catalyst for mitigating temporary disagreements across the Atlantic. We cannot afford any misunderstandings on topics of such strategic implications. We have to avoid initiatives that suggest transatlantic competition and focus on building stronger consensus on the issues that we need to solve together. Complementarity and avoiding duplications between the European Union and NATO are the key words in this endeavor. Speaking about complementarity and the role played by NATO for our collective defense, we cannot ignore the challenges we face on the eastern flank. While the European Union is implementing its decisions on sanctions, and it should continue to do so strictly, NATO should further strengthen its deterrence and defense posture on the eastern flank. That is why Romania firmly supports an improved cohesion on the eastern flank between its northern and southern parts. Indeed, the Black Sea region, where the security environment is increasingly challenged, as we have seen recently, needs more NATO presence. Ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly, a landmark of our presidency of the Council of the European Union will be the informal summit to be held in Sibiu on the 9th of May this year, just ahead of the European elections. We believe that it will be a good opportunity to send a message of unity, pro-European commitment, and to project a positive perspective of the future of the European Union. We will do so by setting in Sibiu the directions of the strategic agenda for the European Union for the period 2019 to 2024, and by bringing its policies closer to our citizens so as to ensure that the European Union's objectives are tailored as best as possible to the citizens' legitimate expectations. In this context, the debate on shaping the future European Union strategic agenda will be the right instrument to reflect on the best ways to develop the defense and security dimension of the European project. Thank you very much.